Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. Today is the third part of Journées du Patrimoine with us. So, let's go. On y va. We're in Paris. Let's go. Today we ask ourselves, where can you see the whole city from without being too high up or too far from the center? And while we had already taken you to a couple of the amazing spots like Le Sacré-Cœur and La Tour Saint-Jacques, both episodes linked in the first comment, we have a feeling the place we will be taking you today is extra special and also easily accessible. But first we find ourselves in the 9th arrondissement of Paris because we would like to pop by an incredibly beautiful atelier that is the home of the painter Gustave Moreau. The story of this house starts in 1852, when Gustave's father, Louis Moreau, bought this house at number 14, Rue de la Rochefoucauld. Gustave installed his atelier on the third floor and continued to work from there. Today, Moreau is considered to be the master of symbolism in the middle of the Impressionist movement. Although he had many admirers, Gustave was very discreet about his life and instead spent most of his time working. He was elected into l'Académie des Beaux-Arts in Paris in 1888, then became a professor of l'École des Beaux-Arts in 1892. Henri Matisse and Georges Rouault had stated that their own work was greatly influenced by the teaching of Moreau from the time when they were his students. Aside from his unique and moving work, we also find it particularly generous of him to bequeath his house to the city of Paris to convert it into a museum after his death. And this is precisely what the city did in 1903. Today the museum's collection contains 850 paintings, 350 watercolors, and 13,000 drawings. It is a real treat for the eyes and we definitely recommend you to pass by. The museum also includes the apartment floors that can be visited, but unfortunately on the day of our visit, they were not open. Maybe next time. L'Arc de Triomphe. With its height of 50 meters and truly gigantic proportions, it's one of the most emblematic symbols of France worldwide. With 1.7 million of visitors in 2023, it is also one of the most popular monuments in France. But let's rewind back a little. It was on the day after the Battle of Austerlitz, which happened on December 2nd, 1805, that Napoleon I proclaimed to his soldiers, "I will bring you back to France. You will only return to your homes under triumphant arches." Shortly after, in February 1806, a decree was issued to the Minister of Interior, Jean-Baptiste Champagny, for the construction of a triumphant arch at the place of La Bastille prison on the eastern side of Paris and not where it is found today. The minister was greatly opposed to the location at Bastille and worked extremely hard to conjure up excellent arguments for the emperor to agree and change the location to l'Étoile. He ended up with a masterpiece of a report, while distributing flowers to the commission, sheltering behind the Council of Civil Buildings, highlighting certain arguments and hiding others, playing wisely with the financial rope. The minister, like a magician, presented his arguments for the change of the location to l'Étoile. Napoleon agreed and suggested to have a beautiful fountain placed at La Bastille. If you'd like to know more about that fountain, we suggest you watch our episode on the visit to La Colonne de la Bastille from a couple of years back. Link is in the description of this video. But back to the arch. What is the reason behind this particular architectural object? Well, it dates back to the Romans, who celebrated their battle victories with ceremonies that allowed the purification of the army after the war. It was thought that following a military victory, the soldiers would have to go through a magic door, a triumphal arch, when returning back to the city to purify themselves. In fact, there are 4 triumphal arches in Paris, all constructed to celebrate war victories. L'Arc de Triomphe, however, was to be dedicated to the glory of the Grande Armée. The construction started in 1806 under the direction of the architect Jean-François Thérèse Chalgrin. In 1810, on the occasion of the marriage between Napoleon and Marie-Louise d'Autriche, a temporary arch had to be constructed for the imperial couple to pass under it on their way to Palais du Louvre from Saint-Cloud. The actual structure of the arch was barely out of the ground by then, so wood and painted canvas were used to create a maquette. A year later, Chalgrin died, leaving his student Louis-Robert Gust at the head of the project, later joined by Jean-Nicolas Huyot. For the following 25 years, until 1836, the construction work was interrupted several times due to political and government changes in the country. Closer to the end of the construction, there were 3 lists of names. 30 decisive battles of the revolution and the empire were allocated to the attic, 96 feats of arms, and 384 generals were to adorn the pedestals. L'Arc de Triomphe was assigned to Guillaume Abel Bleuet and was finally completed after 30 years of construction works and inaugurated on July 29, 1836.
It was the first time for me to go up and you can see full city in 360 degrees. There are so many people everywhere, but it's fine, it's big enough. It accommodates everyone. Thankfully we didn't wait for the queue because we had the Visit Guide guided tour. After the tour finished, the guide just opened it and we just cut the queue and went up. It was amazing actually.
It was also the first time for me. Imagine all these years we live here and we've never gone up. I think it's organized really well. There are a ton of people, as Sinan said, so you kind of think, oh, maybe it will be not enough. It's actually really calm up there on the roof. There are a lot of people, but you don't feel it. For me, it's also very kind of, I don't know why, but I feel a little bit emotional in the sense that, especially like underneath, there is the tomb of the unknown soldier, plus there are the plaques that are dedicated to important dates in France, like, for instance, the return of Alsace and Lorraine to France, to the French territory in 1918. There are also, names of the battles where France was participating in, and also the names of the generals and important figures in the army. You understand how important it is for the patrie, and you understand that it should be important. So yeah, so highly recommended. Definitely come here. Highly recommended. Really, highly recommended. You should come.
And even if you decide to come here just for the incredible views of the capital, we hope that now you will have a better idea of what this place actually means to France, its people, and its history.
This concludes our Journées du Patrimoine series. Thank you for joining us. If you would like to see more of these videos, please don't forget to like, share and comment below. Until the next one, au revoir.